First of all, a very warm welcome to BMS Studio. This is my second interaction with Dr.Bijal Zaveri. We had a small talk before on a concept, and why not? Because whenever we need some management related support or some guidance, we always reach out to you, ma'am. So for us, you are very valuable, and thanks for being the presenter of this today's Friday evening talk. Let me give all the attendees a very important and very valuable brief about you. That is, with overall 17 years of experience, Dr. Bijal Zaveri, the Dean and Director of the Faculty of Management Studies at Parul University. It's a big name, everyone knows, the national, internationally recognized university, and the gem of Gujarat. She has done her Ph.D. at M S University Baroda in the area of online marketing and completed a PG diploma in Cyberlaw from Asian School of Cyberlaw, Mumbai. Published her 20 papers in national journals, 7 in international journals in form of book, proceeding edited bookViz, Tata Mc Graw, Excel, Macmillan Publishers, etc. She has presented various papers at 40 international and national conferences. Currently, PhD research scholars are pursuing PhD under her guidance. 5 PhD scholars have been awarded PhD degrees under her guidance. Education qualification, PhD, MBA marketing. And as I said, current status, she is being serving as one of a very well-known scholar in the field of management. And we all are, we feel valued to have you among us, ma'am. So without wasting so much of time, let me just give all our attendees about today's topic. What madam will be covering today is effective brand management, brand awareness, measures and manages brand equity, drives initiatives that support a consistent brand message, identifies and accommodates new brand products, effectively positions the brand in the market. There is important P's. I mean, that's a very good interpretation. There are four P's here, and our audience would love to know the details about it. Personal, pointed, purposeful, prioritized, which are explored through the concept of personal and traditional branding along with social media. So, as this topic is very much close to my heart, I also belong to the same background, so I would love to hear much about this. And over to you, ma'am. Please, the stage is yours.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Is it audible clearly, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So thank you so much for giving my nice introduction. First of all, special thanks to Baroda Management Association and President of Deepak Shah sir for giving this opportunity to deliver my views on the area of specifically social media marketing and how we can create a branding in this digital era. So special thanks to BMA from the behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, Parul University. Now looking to this today's topic as today's topic that most interesting because as a core area of marketing specialization before 15-17 years when I passed out my marketing specialization and when journey started for the choosing a interested area in the area of PhD. So at that moment, online marketing, that was a very, we can say that a very new topic during that time. In the year of 2006 and 2009, but now we can see that whatever the life that we can't imagine without the digital media. The reason behind that, the way Corona after pandemic, the way every sector has been changed. In that case, we can't imagine our life without online and offline. That is a blended way of learning, blended way of each and every activities. So today's topic, that is an area of leverage institutional branding through crafting your social media presence. Now, when we talk about the branding, during my journey of study, branding that was a very close to my heart, and gradually so many areas that we need to explore for in the area of a branding, because it is not only one way of a branding, but how we can create a branding in a different perspective. That is the most important dimension. As we say about that nowadays also, you might have observed that when we talk about the marketers, when we talk about the very prominent companies also, they have changed their marketing techniques also, and they have changed their marketing campaign techniques also. In some of the articles also, you might have read about that. Specifically, instead of talking about specific digital or specific physical experience, consumer buying behavior experience, nowadays they use the word that is a physical. That is a combination of a physical experience of buying behavior and digital experience of buying behavior. And when we talk about the brand, in a simple way, sometimes we can say that a brand that it does not require any type of introduction. It means that when we talk about a Apple brand or when we talk about a Google brand, the brand, it has some significant meaning behind the entire history, behind the entire journey. So at the same moment, when we talk about the certain branding techniques also, and when we talk about the sometimes individual level branding, some corporate level branding, or we can say about the personal level branding. Nowadays, each and every company, each and every organization, each and every institute is trying to connect with their customers with a different types of experience. So when we talk, just one simple example, just I would like to discuss with all of you that when we talk about a brand, sometimes we don't sell only products, we don't sell any services, but beyond that, as a myopia concept also, we sell certain hope, we sell certain type of happiness to our customers, we sell certain type of trust, peace of mind, some type of, we can say that, a fun or entertainment that we sell to our customers. So that is a journey behind that particular brand, and how that particular brand can be connected to on the different platforms. That is the best way. Here also you may see that just some of the different symbols of a different brands, and each and every brand has a different type of journey. Each and every brand has a different type of experience. They have a different types of connection with the customers. When we talk about the certain brand, each and everyone has, each and every brand has a significant positioning in the minds of the customer. So during this digital era, that is the most important dimension, that how we connect with our customers, how we connect with our audience, how we create some pleasant experience during this online engagement. And sometimes a majority of the company like Wipro or Tata or Godrej, nowadays it is not that a simple, some only a certain specific sector they use a social media presence, but nowadays each and every company, whether the industrial sector, whether a FMCG sector, each and every company try to create a unique way of online engagement, and they try to connect with the customers. So there is different types of techniques also, that how you can leverage the branding for not only institution, but sometimes as rightly said, that when we purchase certain products or when we purchase certain services, there should be some ingredient that should be also branded. So when we talk about the certain service sector, when we talk about the some we can say that a combination of product and service sector, in that case, how we connect with our customer through some, we can say that whatever the people or with whatever the organization employ, they create their they try to connect with the customer, they try to connect with the end user. That is the best way of create some branding technique. So just here I would like to explain the different examples also during this entire session. What are the best way to use the different techniques to create a social media presence? Because nowadays, I think before 10 years, we can imagine our life that without this digital era, but now we can't imagine our life also without this digital presence. So many benefits, so many, we can say that hidden potential is there in each and every media. Just we need to explore that each and every media, so that would create a best branding technique. One thing that when we choose any brand cannot be developed overnight. When we talk about any specific brand of any sector like FMCG or Parle-G, or we can say that a Britannia or Nestle, any brand cannot be created overnight, but it requires a lots of efforts. So now the just way of delivering the things, that is only make some differences. When we talk about the physical branding or when we talk about the digital branding, the concept that remains the same, but how we can use, how we try to explore the new ways of this digital branding, and how we want to create our social media presence, how we want to connect with our customer with a different types of stories, that matters a lot. So looking to that, uh, individual, see, I would like to explain this branding on a diverse perspective. That is one way we can say that a personal brand, the one way we can say that how if you are associated part of any organization, any institute, so how you have to contribute as a particular individual branding, how matters a lot, personal branding, how matters a lot, or organizational branding, that matters a lot. It means that being the individual person, you have lots of contribution to create some corporate level or institutional level branding. Sometimes being a owner of the organization, being a we can say that the individual person as a organization, how you are contributing for that particular organization. Now sometimes whatever the stories, whatever the uniqueness that you want to share, there are lots of medias are available where we can share our recognition, when we share our the credibility. Sometimes nowadays so many things, when we talk about the certain service sector, in service sector also, that as we rightly said that 4 P's, and apart from 3 P's, we are having that physical ambience, or we can say that the people who play a very important role, and the credibility matters a lot during this online after pandemic also, in majority of the online education sector also. So many online educational institutes, or we can say that coaching institutes have played a very significant role. Now sometimes we can say that it matters a lot that how you create, how you provide the some uniqueness about that particular product, about the particular services. So as a many, yes,
Ma'am, can I interrupt you for a second?
yes,
Ma'am,
yes,
some
yes.
of the audience are actually requesting if your video is streaming good or well. So will you be able to come on the video also, ma'am, with the along with the presentation, or is it as you wish?
So in that case, what I have to do?
Only start your video, ma'am, because the presentation is visible.
My video is on, sir.
Okay, it's not visible. Can you see yourself?
Just 1 minute. Now it shows I think a cross line to me.
Okay,
I am not.
We will do it from here. Not an issue. Please continue,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now, see, nowadays we can say that today's audience is called as a digital natives. As we say that we are, our lifestyle is also wired lifestyle. It means that we are connected with one gadget to another gadget at some way or in a some different way. Now at the same time period, when we talk about that, how we can create some online presence. Now what is the need of create an online presence nowadays? The reason behind that, this is just based on the some survey, based on some factual data. It shows that during this past 5 years, it shows that how significantly the users have been increased on a various social media platform. Not only social media, that we can say that the users of mobile users, the users of internet users have been increased significantly, drastically. Now we can say that average user time duration, that may be around, we can say that 150 minutes, and now it has been increased. So we can say that average users have been increased. It indicates that behind the making your social media presence, sometimes we have to understand psychology of the end user, psychology of the customers. Nowadays majority of the marketing companies, also what they do, they try to identify that behavioral economics, we can say that organization psychology, and at the same time period are some different ways of the consumption habits or engagement techniques. So when we talk about the organization psychology, it means that there are a lots of ways, there are a lots of opportunities you can represent the psychology of the organization, like psychology with whom you are associated, a part of that organization, that play a very important role as organizational psychology. So here we can say that when we talk about the internet users, how it is correlated to internet users and consumption technique, consumption pattern, and online engagement of the customers, because of that there are lots of opportunities available to connect with the end users. uh, See, why use we have to use a social media? Sometimes there is some rigid mindset also that there is no need to usage of a social media, because there are different medias are also available where we can market our product, or we can sell our services, or we can create some prominent impact to the customers by different ways of medias. But there are different opportunities, different types of, we can say that new hidden potential available for the social media. And based on that, as we say about that, sometimes there should be proper exposure about about that some specific about the product and services, how we want to create some unique way of customer engagement. I think one example that I would like to share with all of you, that regarding the virtual communities, online virtual communities. Nowadays, this virtual communities has played a very significant role for the buying behavior, to create loyal fans towards that particular product and services. So there is a very different types of ways available, that how you can improve the sales, how you can create more connectivity with the customers, how you can improve the some good ranking on the social media also, based on a search engine optimization. So there are lots of opportunities, not only for the specific business people, not only for the some specific institutional level, but suppose as an individual person, if any person wanted to enter into the any sector and want to create some USP about the particular business, as an entrepreneur or as a digital entrepreneur, I think at that moment the social media play a very important role. Now when we talk about that nowadays, when we talk about the entrepreneurs, but when after 5 years or 10 years, you can find out that instead of entrepreneurs, we can find out the digital entrepreneurs in each and every sector. So if those who want to make their career in the area of, suppose instead of joining with any organization, any institute, if you want to start your business, or if you want to make some, we can say that create some USP in the area of entrepreneurship, but without the knowledge of this digital support, without the knowledge of this digital techniques, I think that is a very challenging way to make a significant impact in the entire world, on the entire nation, or in the entire global world. So this is the way, that is the importance of the social media, not only for only one dimension, but it is very significant importance in all the dimension. Now, there are lots of ways to use a social media marketing techniques. Now, we can say that when we talk about the social media marketing techniques, this is some generated based on the factual information. It indicates that there is a lots of exposure that you will get on the social media as we compare with the certain print media, as we compare with the certain, we can say that a traditional media. But compared to the traditional media and print media, where we can say that how you can increase the website traffic, how you can increase your loyal fans, and there are various techniques. Just I would like to share that Britannia, Nestle, and we can say that certain L'Oreal company, in some of the HR organization also, they started a certain type of techniques where they can use how effective engagement with the customers. In that case, they started with some gamification technique. I think this hair and care company also use the same gamification technique to increase the customer engagement. Nestle, Britannia, then after we can say that a certain level of, we can say that premium level of product category, consumer durable product category also started various campaigning activities to get major advantages for the social media marketing. As a social media marketing expert also, sometimes nowadays, instead of spending so much money towards the traditional media, nowadays each and every company is trying to connect with the customers on a various social media platforms. Now it depends on that which type of product category, which type of services that you are dealing, and based on that product category and services, you will have to identify that which type of campaigning would be appropriate on any of the social media. Suppose as we talk about the certain type of product category where some professionalism or professional networking is required, so in that case a LinkedIn that would be more appropriate. Some of the campaigning activities, like we can say that some of the FMCG product, so in that case some of the company also they use a various campaigning activity on the Twitter, they use a various campaigning of activity on the Instagram. So it depends on that type of product and services, which type of campaigning services, which type of campaign would be more appropriate to increase the lead, to increase the more sales, how you make more exposure about your product or services, how you increase the website traffic, how you can create online word of mouth, right? So these are the various dimensions for the social media marketing to create some social media presence, not only for the individual product, not only for the individual services, but as a overall institutional level, overall organizational level, and as a corporate brand. As rightly said, that when we talk about the some corporate brand, once that brand has been developed, in that case there are a lots of advantages to create a related and unrelated extension. Like when we say about that some of the prominent brand like a Tata, or we can say that a Reliance, the way company has created a branding in the minds of the customer, whatever the extension category, whether it is educational services, or whether we talk about the FMCG, or we talk about the any type of internet related services, this prominent brand has created impact in the minds of the customer by various using various social media marketing techniques as well. Now where we have as a social networking can have the biggest impact. Sometimes it may happen that which type of quality of, we can say that sometimes chances may be there any product or services, if initially any product or services doesn't have any some specific USP or some significant contribution in that particular category, sometimes it is very difficult to give, difficult to create some USP in the minds of the customer. It would be quite difficult to create some specific identity in the global world. Now, sometimes it may happen that when social networking sites, when the customers go through the various social networking sites for purchasing product and services, it has some significant, they try to make some different analysis, they try to make some significant analysis for the before making some final decision of a purchase. So that depends on that how your product that you want to create as an innovative, how you want to create some different positioning in the market, how you try to create the communication about the brand in the market. Sometimes whatever the media that it has been chosen, right, but at the same time period, whatever the communication techniques, whatever the engagement techniques are not appropriate, it would be quite difficult to survive for the longer duration. This is just average, we can say that this is just average search for any type of product and services. You can see over here that for purchasing any product and services or for any type of brand, it shows that those who are in a youngsters category, those who are in the, we can say that teenagers category, they totally rely on that brand search on various social media platforms. It means that if you are dealing with certain product category which is targeted specifically only for the teenagers or only for the youngsters, in that case, whatever the amount that you are going to invest in the print media or traditional media, and whatever the amount that you are investing or spending on the social media, if there is no significant difference in all media, I think your budget would be wasted. So this is the average. It shows that average brand search by the specific youngster, that is quite on a higher side compared to that old age people. So I think through this type of data, facts and figures, I think that would be much more easier for the marketers, it would be much more easier for the company representative also, that how to use a various social media platform to increase the sale of the product, to increase the frequency of we can say that a purchase of the product. Because sometimes without such analysis, if any amount is being invested for the marketing purpose, I think that would be some challenges for the company, for the organization as well. Now, sometimes it might have some challenges also for the organization, that instead of using some new techniques, new medias, using some traditional technique, traditional media, I think that is a very challenging phase. So it is not only after 5 years or 10 years and looking to this current era, or we can say that after 5 years or 10 years, if we see the future also, I think 80%, 90% audience that we have to connect in, on the digital platforms only. The reason behind that, just I would like to share one example, that before 10 years or 15 years, we were having like a shopping, but now also in shopping also, it has been changed drastically from the shopping to retail shopping to mall shopping to the we can say that web shopping to the smartphone shopping to the mobile shopping. So this is the way, this is the consumer scenario has been changed drastically. So when any marketers or as any individual would like to make any new innovative dimensions for any product and service category, all this analysis matters a lot. See, which advertising channels have the highest conversion rates? According to this conversion rate, in terms of, we can say that this is a most prominent way of advertising channel: Google, Bing, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube. See, gradually, sometimes according to product and services, as we talk about the certain product which are the based on hedonism dimension, some of the product which are the based on utilitarian dimension, entire campaigning activity, entire, we can say that marketing activity is totally designed on the basis of that which type of product category that you are dealing, which type of service category that you are dealing. If we are talking about some hedonism type of product or services, or which requires some only fun and entertainment type of product and services, in that case, out of this different media, see, it shows this is the standard way of advertising on a different platform. But at the same time period, it further depends on the which type of product and which type of services that you are dealing. So it depends on that. Some of the for the hedonism type of product or services, which media would be more appropriate? For the some type of utilitarian type of product and services, which media would be appropriate? It depends only on the type of product category. One more example, that when we talk about the entire social media marketing to create a brand presence, not only for the product, not only for the services, but as an individual also, these are some of the points that I wanted to share that with all of you regarding that social media marketing tips. That first of all, that what is the goal, for what purpose that you want to create that presence in the minds of the customer, who will be your proper target audience. to whom you want to connect. Like just one as from the academics, as I am having this experience in the specific field of academics. So just I would like to share that nowadays, when we talk about the various types of different way of virtual learning, so here we can say that if we want to connect with our audience, if we want to connect with our target audience, like with the students, so there are different ways available that how we can create their interest with the some online virtual communities dimension. It means that nowadays we can use as various types of, we can create some portfolio for our student, or we can create some portfolio that on what portfolio he or she would like to make some achievement, like some gamification technique also can be utilized, can be used for the student level activities. That as a student, what are their expectation, not only for the academics, but what additional value added certificate, value added courses that we design to our students for the our end customer. That is the significant way to connect with our customers. So this is about that who will be your target audience. First of all, that target audience, if we identify our target audience properly, then and then we can create a different types of marketing activities, we can create a different types of campaigning activities, we can create a different types of customer engagement program. I think one more example, that online virtual online customer engagement experience. Nowadays so many product and services are in such a manner that it requires a tremendous efforts to create some pleasant experience for that specific group of customers. When we talk about that, some specifically social media platform, which media that would be more appropriate, which type of content need to be created, because see, when we are dealing with a certain type of social media, the content, that is the most important dimension. What content that you are sharing, what is the credibility of that content, what is the some emotional experience associated with that content, up to what frequency you are connected with your end user, with your customers, how you want to create that visual dimension with your customers or with your end users, or how, and at the end of the entire all this techniques, how you make some marketing tech, how you make some media analytics, or we can say that what is, where you will have to improve, where you will have to make certain changes, where you will have to make some additional input requires to create some brand. Like one more example, that here we have used about that content or art of storytelling. If I think Wipro and Tata, you just go through the some of the websites of the organization, you can find out that they try to create online customer engagement with the different type of story of the employee of the organization, or different types of connect with the experience of the organization. So here the content in a social media marketing, if you promote anything on the social media, the content should have a much more credibility. Then with that credibility, you can connect with the audience. If somewhere that content is not appropriate, I think that may be the biggest challenges for the any organization or any institute as a personal level. Sometimes what level of frequency is required. Sometimes you don't know that who are your followers. As right, one example that I would like to share, that in a during our history or in our old era, that like Dronacharya and Eklavya, that Dronacharya did not know about that. Eklavya has a very rigorous follower for that learning so many things. So here also you might be Dronacharya, you might be as a Dronacharya for anyone, and you don't know that how many Eklavyas that you are training. It means that as a social media person, whatever the things that you are posting, whatever the things you are sharing, I think you can find out the lots of followers, you can find out that lots of people, whatever the small thing that you are doing, they want to identify, they want to find out that what is the next step. So I think there are lots of tips also, techniques also to create online presence in this digital era. Now, this is 6 social media skills. As a leader, I feel that any person is a leader in particular field. It means that if you individual person has some leadership skills, individual person has some uniqueness inside that leading that particular field. So here the 6 dimension, the 1 dimension that develop creative and competitive storytelling. It means that every individual has their own journey. Every individual has their own experience. Every individual has their own type of way of creating experience in some different way. So I think this is, if you want to create a content on the social media also, that is the 1 dimension that develop creative and competitive storytelling. Then after, we can say that understand cross platform dynamics, or we can say that build and sustain a body of social followers. It means that cross platform, there are a different type of channels, different types of platforms where you can connect, you can create a unique identity for that particular social media techniques. And the third one, that is a create resonance. Resonance, we can say that how you want to make some similarity, you want to create some similarity. Majority of the product, majority of the brand also, you might have just observed that they have some resonance, brand resonance feeling. That sometimes whatever the product or services, like the way Tata has created some image in the minds of the customer, that the way Samsung has created, Samsung or Sony has created an image in the minds of the customer about some electronic appliances, that you can't imagine, you can't just think about Apple, like for more technical gadgets. You can't think about some different brands if you are thinking about any electronic appliances. So that is, we can say that there are various dimensions are available, that how you can create effective engagement with the end customer, with the on the various platform as well. So as a personal level, different types of techniques are there. As a strategic and organizational level, I think some, if any, as an organizational level, you can include the 360-degree approach. That is not only one way, but 360-degree approach, which includes, as rightly said previously, that organizational psychology, then some behavior economics, or we can say that some long-term vision and mission of the organizational people. So that is some, we can say that 1 dimension as advisor. Then after, architect in terms of that balance vertical accountability and horizontal collaboration. It means that how you make a leverage, not only creating leveraging branding, not only for the particular one sector, but how you are adding some value addition for the organization. And being an analyst, we can say that how this connect with the end customer, how connect with how people make some analysis about your particular organization, about your particular product and services. So this is a 6 different dimension that is most prominent during this digital media, as a create some social media presence, not only as an individual but as an institutional level as well. So I think we are having still 15 minutes, and after 5 to 10 minutes, any question also that I wanted to discuss. But see, what are the tips and effectiveness for the social media strategy? See, you as an individual having a different personal experience, as an organization also you are having a different experience. So here we can say that if we want to create some social media presence on this digital platforms, you are having a lots of different verticals, different dimensions that you can create a better engagement with end customer. See, the first dimension is that when we talk about the making a social media presence, that what type of content, who need to be targeted, where, it means that which specific area, when, up to what extent, how frequency is, what type of frequency, up to what frequency it is required, and the why it is required on to create whether some credibility need to be created, whether we need to create some type of some tangibility dimensions we need to create. If we are talking about some positioning dimensions, what USP that need to be created on the social media platform. So on the basis of various social media, that you can find out that which one would be appropriate. Now, sometimes how often should you post on social media? See, sometimes as we read a certain dimensions in advertising, beyond a certain type, there is some effect, that is wear out effect. It means that beyond certain limit, if you make some hammering, if you make some advertisement, I think there is no any impact. So we need to also remove that wear out effect, means that up to certain level. In advertisement also we learn that if the frequency 3 or less than 3, that would be appropriate. 3 to 8, that is we can say that average, but beyond a certain limit, it leads to wear out effect. So at the same time period, when we are dealing with the social media also, this is some standard, we can say that what level of frequency is required on a different social media platform, that is like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, blogging, right? This is a different way. I think blogging or Instagram, sometimes which type of end user, which type of target customer that you want to connect. It depends on your target customer. You have to use a different types of social media platform. See, for Twitter also 5 to 7 tweets per day. LinkedIn, that is like a professional networking site. So here we can say that a minimum 1 post per day. Then for a Facebook also, like we can say that 1 or 2 posts every day. Pinterest, or we can say that Instagram or blogging. So blogging also, you can create online blogging by creating your own personal story, by sharing your own experience, and at the same time period you can create how you want to connect with your end customers. So I think we can't imagine in academics also, in this educational industry also, when we deal with our youngsters. So I think this is the psychology of the youngsters, and if we want to connect with our youngsters, I think this is the best platform. On various platforms we can connect with our end user, or we can connect with our customers, and this is a way that how you can create your presence on the various social media platform. So sometimes we can say that personal branding and organizational branding, that is both things are interconnected. As we rightly said that any organization can see, and sometimes any organization, if the people as a branded people inside that organization, that matters a lot, and that is the reason that testimonial advertisement, that nowadays it is being used as a various effective way of online branding, online customer engagement technique. It means that when we deal with the product, when we deal with the services, we give more emphasis towards that what specific ingredients are being used inside the product. But when we deal with the educational institutes, when we deal with the service sector, at that time period, the person or people who deliver the services, that plays a most important role. And that is the reason that sometimes some of the organization or some of the institute also play a very important role, create some individual branding by the employee of the organization. See, that is the personal branding. We can say that specifically individual marketing themselves and their career as a brand. So I feel that each and every person in that organization is having a USP, and that USP need to be highlighted by that particular person, that each and every person has a unique way of journey. So how you create your journey, how you want to create that experience to the end user, that is up to you. And I think individual person, whether we can say that those who are the current users, those who are the past users, or those who are, we can say that the loyal users, each and every users or each and every customers can be used as a branding technique for any organization. So just we can say that for educational institute also, sometimes your alumni that play a very important role as a personal branding. Sometimes when we talk about the some of the particular service sector, those who are the loyal customers, they play a very important role as a personal branding to create some strong organizational branding or strong corporate brand. See, Dabur or Tata is this brand are not being developed just over a night, but just because of that continuous, we can say that support through their loyal customers with loyal, we can say that some specific group of loyal consumers. Organizational branding said that organizational branding that includes so many dimensions, that includes elements, your name, logo, tagline, website, which type of colors that you are going to use, that colors represent a which type of mindsets, how you with that color, how you want to connect with the customers, what type of positioning that you are going to use. Sometimes the positioning create that matters a lot. Positioning in terms of point of association, how you would like to make some association about your particular brand, then which specific graphic elements, which specific type of color or media that you are using to create the organizational branding. So this is a brief things about the organizational branding. As individual person or as an individual product or as an individual services, everything is branded. During this definition, just one line that I would like to say that branding instead of being branded, and defining instead of being defined. So here we can say that each and every product has some unique selling proposition. That proposition need to be highlighted on the basis of point of association, and if proper point of association as per the psychology of the customer or psychology of the end user, I think that is the best way to create a brand of any product, any services or any individual. Psychology play a most important role. I think for marketing students, I would say that if you are, you will get opportunity for any type of, we can say that those who want to make their career specifically in a marketing organization, those who are the beginners also, or those who have made some establishment for the some company and organization. Marketing, it means that how you understand the psychology of the end customers. If you have won the hearts of the customers, I think that is the only reason that nowadays majority companies, majority marketers are also using emotional marketing technique on a various social media platform. So it is like that on what dimension, on what basis you want to create some branding strategy. So how that, what type of storytelling, what type of visual appeals that you want to use for some specific impact about the brand on the various social media platforms, how, on what specific belief and values that you want to connect with the customers. As some of the brand is having some credibility dimension, and based on that credibility dimension, they want to create the some long-term impact. Example that just I would like to share that Nestle, or we can say that a Coca-Cola. Sometimes if we are dealing with a certain brands where some type of benefits, some emotions are being associated with that particular brand. So at that time period, whatever the campaigns that is being designed, the which type of marketing technique is being designed, that is totally depend that type of specific product and type of specific services. I think last one or 2 point. That's more important that in social media, when we want to connect with our customers, we want to connect with our end users, that should be consistent approach. The reason behind that, consistency play a most important role to create the some, we can say that a unique positioning in the minds of the consumer. consistent approach is required, a customer engagement program is required, various types of online customer engagement program can be designed, virtual experience of the customer can be analyzed, and based on the virtual experience also few of the new campaign can be designed. And the last point, just I would like to share that during the 2021, see all the brand, that is we can say that digital brand has created a significant impact in the market. So not only we can say that through traditional media we can create some online presence, offline presence, but there are a lots of opportunity available, including lots of digital platforms are available to create some specific presence on this digital era. So just I think I would like to conclude over here. Before that, one more point, that for a branding process, these are the few points that I wanted to share with all of you regarding that. For a branding process, fully update your social media accounts. It means that as an individual person, what is your journey, that how you represent your journey, that matters a lot. Make posting easy with social media apps. Regularly share content. How you share content with effectiveness, that matters a lot. Import your context. I think those who are, we can say that for the specifically students or those who want to make a certain business, I think LinkedIn, where we can connect with so many professionals, and we can create our identity also, and we can grab the opportunity by taking their expertise also. Keep social posts positive and engaging. Instead of involving yourself in any type of issues or any type of, we can say that, a debate, your post should be very much positive and engaging. Keep your brand voice image consistent. Your image should be consistent. Instead of changing your image, as an individual also, you have to depict your brand. As an individual, you have to identify that which type of positioning that I wanted to create in the mind of the end user. So this is the last point. And for LinkedIn also, one point that I wanted to share, that for the LinkedIn, I think this is the most prominent professional networking sites, where not only specifically important for the professionals, but for the specifically students, they must join this LinkedIn network. And you have to identify that what is, if you want to join any specific sector also, you have to identify that what is the company's long-term vision and mission, and based on that, you just follow on that path, you just follow on that dimension. You can create your connectivity on any of this aspect, that create your profile, then join certain virtual community groups, make some question answer techniques, then certain content that will be more related to how you want to show your expertise in that particular area. So this is the various dimension where you can connect with the professionals on the various platforms. And this is my social media platforms. This is my university ID, personal ID, and Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and social Twitter. You can find out on as a Bijal Zaveri. So just I would like to conclude this session, that I think a person who can search out the name on the Google and you are getting the top on the top, I feel that you have created your social media presence. So just I would like to conclude my session over here. Thank you so much for providing this opportunity.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. It was a really knowledgeable session, and for the person like us who are owning the startups and who has entered into business recently, these things are quite helpful for growing the business. We'll take question and answers. We have so many questions. We will take some of them one by one. Are you okay, madam?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. The first question we have is, just like CIBIL score of individuals, is there any method to check credit of company brand with the digital branding? Like, is there any method to check?
Pardon, can you repeat the question, sir?
just like a CIBIL score, we have a CIBIL score
Okay.
method. Yeah.
Yes. So there are different types of digital branding ranking techniques, survey technique. Based on that, you can find out that what would be the score of that particular. We can say that I think brand equity. You might have heard about that when any during every year also any brand is being declared as a top 10 brands or top 5 brands. So at that time period, based on the brand equity, this type of top 5 brands are being declared on the any of the social media platforms. There are various ways that based on the some value creation, based on that what type of likability about that brand, what type of we can say that the awareness about the brand. So based on the certain dimensions, this type of ranking techniques are being used to identify this specific ranking method.
All right. Thank you very much, madam. That's an excellent answer, we can say. We have a second question. Is that is there any method to quantify digital branding of company? See, whenever companies are doing M&As, merger and acquisitions,
Yes.
so first they check the assets, they check their debts. So before that, is there any method to quantify digital marketing? Like
that up to what extent, that how many we can say that likes, based on likes, or specifically based on the sales, or based on the some frequency of the purchase. May I know that what specific dimension that you want to get clarify over here?
only digital things. Say, for example, companies have so many YouTube posts or LinkedIn posts. Based on that, is there any method to quantify based on the customer
Yes.
experiences, feedbacks?
Yes. So there are lots of social media analytic techniques are available. Based on the social media analytic techniques, we will able to identify that which one would be more appropriate and how we need to proceed further. I think whatever the likes that we are getting, whatever the campaigns are being designed, see, like, share and comment. I think this type of things that when we do any social media advertisement or social media content, so at the same time period, there is some significant meaning for the like also, for some significant meaning of share also, and whatever the comment, and at the end that what is the finally we can say that the sale of the product. So based on this various dimension, based on the overall dimension, company can identify that what would be the next level of marketing campaign technique, what is the significant benefit that have been received for the some product, for the specific sales of the product or service of the product. So there are different ways are also available. With the help of social media analytic techniques also, we can identify that.
Okay, and one more question we have. It is regarding best ways to get and display digital testimonials. Like, two questions are included in this. First question is that which are the best way to get testimonial digitally from the customer, and second question is that how we can display in the best manner for our organization so our brand value is getting increased.
I think for testimonial, I would like to say that, see, based on the past years or based on the some feedback of the experience, whatever the loyal customers of the organization, when you collect the some dimensions, their viewpoints, and try to display on the various websites, on the various platforms, and how you want to provide. See, every time reward is not it should be not in a form of monetary, but some non-monetary reward also that matters a lot for the organization, for the customers as well. So at that time period, how you create a journey of the customer, that how you want to create that experience of the customers on the digital media platform, or on the any of the website, that matters a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. It is a very good answer, and definitely it will help so many businessmen who are trying to create their brand digitally, and it will guide young entrepreneurs who have
Yes.
started. Yes. Um,
Any more questions, friends? Madam, I think we had a good session, and three of the questions were. I mean, we can expect a lot of questions because this topic is a very. I think Shivansh Tetia is having question. Chirag sir, would you like to take that?
yeah. 1 minute. I will make him allow him to speak. Yeah. Shivansh, you can talk. You can talk.
मैम हमें एक कंपनी को मतलब कितने परसेंटेज अपने टोटल रेवेन्यू का स्पेंड करना चाहिए कि उसको
See, may I know that some background also, some specific thing, because see, as I said to you that it depends on that how much amount that you wanted to invest in the media. It depends on the type of product and type of services as well. At the same time period, what is your total budget? Based on the total budget, you have to make some bifurcation according to that how we can reach to that some specific group target audience. So sometimes it should be very much specific that how we are dealing with some product category, how we are, which type of service category that we are dealing, and based on that total our budget. So that is my suggestion to you, that that should be very specific. General suggestions may not be appropriate in that case.
Okay.
So I think Madam answered your question, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Any more questions we have from attendees? Yeah. Madam, we have one more question from Nilesh.
Yes.
Are you okay with the questions?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Nilesh is asking how we will make a brand when it is a new in the market. Which is the best way? I think he is asking.
Okay. So see, if we are in an established category at that time period, your steps that would be different. If you are in a new category, so first of all, you have to identify that certain dimension of that category brand category development index and brand development index. It means that if we are dealing with the category where it is not highly crowded, so at that time period, your approach would be quite different. If your category index, category development index, it is a very highly crowded category. It means that, like just one example that I wanted to share, that now at this stage, if any person wanted to introduce some product in the FMCG market, we can say that it would be highly crowded. So at that time period, or category development index is high, at that time period, whatever the brand efforts is required. So here you will have to identify that what specific point of association, what specific USP that you want to create about your brand, and then after make some separate journey about the brand. So that would be more appropriate. If you are dealing with we can say that the category is not crowded. It means that very less competition. At that time period, if you invest in the certain media, if you invest in the certain types of marketing techniques, I think that would be appropriate. But without making some USP about a product or about your services, and if you invest into some particular various medias and on the various platforms, I think that would be some chances. Maybe there's certain type of in a future that you will have to identify that what would be the obstacles for budget also, because see, at that moment to create some unique positioning in a crowded market, that is a very difficult dimension. So at that time period, any product or service is the most important dimension, that you have to identify that what specific USP that you want to create in the minds of the customer to create the positioning about your product.
Thank you, madam. I think Nilesh has got the answer. Now we have one more question for
So do we have a question?
Yes.
from the student side. So if adding some value, hello.
Yes, yes, sir. You can ask question.
So you got my question. So if some students want to make a career in the industry for adding value addition in digitally to the organization, maybe for starting a new entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So which courses are available? Like which things they need to get the skill, which skills they need to improve.
So, see, apart from, we can say that the marketing nowadays, he or she should enroll with certain types of courses, like where you can learn certain things of search engine optimization, social media marketing techniques, social media branding techniques. What are the online customer engagement techniques? So there are lots of certificate courses are also available. There are lots of, we can program also available in the same area for the social media marketing. Nowadays many of the colleges organization also offer some specific specialization in the social media marketing or digital marketing. See, media marketing, digital marketing, or we can say that a simple marketing, each dimension has a different each courses has a different USP. So if you want to make some specific value, so I think you must enroll with a certain type of courses which which add values for the social media dimensions. Instead of simple core vanilla flavor of marketing, there are lots of different dimensions are available nowadays. So you can opt for that some specific specialization or some specific courses.
Thank you, Bijal madam and Tiwari sir. Thank you for your time. And we know that your schedules are very busy. You are having a lot of work at the college, and so many exams are there. So many lectures. We know that your schedules are always busy. But from BMA side, we would like to thank you from our bottom of the heart. You have spared us time for us, and you have given this lecture. And this lecture was knowledgeable. We can say a booster dose for the entrepreneurs who like to expand their business. So from BMA side, we like to conclude the session, and we like to thank you for your spending a time and sparing a knowledge to us.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, participants. We end the session now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Bijal madam. Thank you.